to be honest with you guys, I don't think this game is fit for league racing yet. It's gonna take a lot of changes until we can start next week. Hopefully they're coming, but I'm not too sure. Let's see, grid should be all okay. I'm just gonna double check it again. So we missed like the last 2 minutes of qualifying, so for those of you watching, here's how it played out. Barry on top, then Kostya, then Ignils, then Zook, Cassidy, Adsex, Ruben, VIP GTA Gamer, Mano in P9, Michael in P10, followed by Texwax, Bobby, Frankie Monty, and Boy in P14. So that would be everything in terms of setup. Just gonna make sure that we have the formation lap turned off, as we have, and then we can ready up. Let's see. Bunch of guys being upset that others took their cars. It's just pre-season, so don't sweat it. Okay, everybody, we can ready up. Come on, let's go. Let's ready up. I see a forward problems as well. Perfect. So at least we're not the only ones. At least the, pattern of errors on this game is consistent. It's always nice to see. Alrighty. Let's hope we don't have any game crashes this time, because if we do, then I won't be able to rejoin the lobby and we won't be able to see the rest of this absolute perfect display of clean driving that we're about to see. Hopefully. At least the music is good. Okay, and that's all of the music. Alright people, remember to get your setups. I swear to God, someone is gonna forget the setup. I'm not sure how they could forget, but they are probably gonna forget somehow. I'm just and someone ready up already. Let's see, still have 20 seconds to do the setup, so that shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully. Also, people remember, your tires will be stone cold, so maybe turn off the overtake button on the start, or otherwise you're just gonna spin around and go backwards. Probably gonna have a few people doing that. I'd say at least 4 people are gonna spin off the line. Let's see, we got the lights already. Gotta do this quick. And we'll go with a slow start from Ignitz in the Alpha Tauri. Oh, and there goes 2 people, Ignitz and Sadimano. A lot of people locking up, that's Barra. Bottling turn 1. Why? Listen to what I'm saying. Let's see, Michael also bottled it. Frankie Monty, I think, might have bottled it. We got Ruben leading on the softs, the only guy on the softs right now, so that's an interesting strategy. I don't actually know what the strategy is around here. I'm not quite sure. I know that in the last few games I think medium hards was the way to go, but hards are quite difficult to get into the working window on this game, so maybe Ruben can do some magic on those softs as Monty has spun around on cold hard tires. Take it careful for the first lap. Please. That's Barry and Ignatz going side by side at the back. To be honest, given that we already had like 4 or 5 spins, the field is still somewhat close together, so that's good to see. Ruben's obviously pulling away now with those softs. He got those softs fired up fastest, obviously. Easier to get temperature in. Those guys on the hards are going to continue to struggle, like Zook is right now, trying to defend against Mano, who's going around the outside of turn 12. That was a nice move right there. I like that. As Ignatz has spun around. Also on the hard tires. I wouldn't start on the hards in those conditions. And you can see why. Cassidy there, going around the outside of Kostya into P2. So good job from him. Let's see, Adzex and VIP doing a good no matter, that was Bob spinning around. I was about to say adjusting Adzex. Adzex and VIP doing a good job on those hards, still being up there without spinning out for now. So that's nice to see. Ruben gonna keep that gap at 1.5 seconds. I'd expect that maybe after like 4 or 5 laps those soft tires could drop off. That's how it's been the last few games at least. Maybe even earlier. So if Cassidy can stay within like 2 seconds for the first few laps, then I think he has a good shot at gaining back that time later on in this first stint. Kostevo is falling behind a bit, now getting put under pressure by Adzex on the hards. Bobo is still spinning in the back, so he's still struggling to get used to those cars after that update that released 2 weeks ago. But Adzex doing quite a good job on the hards. That's kind of surprising to me, given that those hards really need like 1 or 2 laps to get up to temperature. As we have a spinner in sector 3, and that is Ruben from the lead. Spinning out. I'm not sure what happened there. I don't think he was in short as Bobo spun out in the chicane. So that means Cassidy is leading now. He hasn't been in that position for a long time. Ruben and Michael fighting further down. Ruben's tire are probably overheating right now because of that spin, so he has to wait a few corners to cool them down. But Cassidy right now 1.3 seconds in the lead on mediums. So that's a good position for him right now. Also good on ERS compared to Costa behind him, who's really struggling against the Ferrari on the hards as Bobby and Mano are battling, and there's another spin from Bobo just at the beginning of sector 3. But yeah, Adzex and VIP right now doing a good job on those hards, so there are clearly a few of those guys that actually managed to get the hards to work, which I think can be a big advantage in this game. I know that the likes of Lou and I think Vaporweiser, they can make the hards work in F1, so that's gonna help them out as well. But talking just about that, Texwax in the AlphaTauri is about to set up a move on VIP. As we got some battling further down, but we're gonna focus on the front for now. Bobo is getting lapped, only 3 laps into this race. VIP possibly looking for a move on Adzex, there's no space there. We got Zook and Bobby battling, also 2 guys on the hards. Oh, and VIP and Texwax going side by side. VIP being forced off the track ever so slightly, but still going side by side. Oh, and Texwax, but there's a little bit of contact there. I think front wheel to the side part of the McLaren. Not sure if Texwax just got understeer or if VIP closed in on him, but obviously Texwax now spun around. That cost him a lot of time as Bobby and Zook are going side by side across the start-finish line. Very close to each other. Zook still defending his position on the inside, but Bobby is still there. He's gonna launch it into turn 3, or no, he hangs back, thinks better of it. Bobby was complaining about his setup earlier on, is now using Zook's time trial setup. So let's see how that's gonna work around here as Bobo, I think it's gonna just tire in the pit lane, and Zook just spun in turn 6 in that difficult traction zone. So it's unfortunate for him, but to be honest, looking at how it's going so far, I think everybody's gonna have at least 1 spin, so it's still all to play for the McLaren driver. Let's see, there are a few gaps now. Barra and Texwax are fairly close to each other. Also Bobby just in front of those guys, of course after battling with Zook just half a lap ago. See, there might be something coming here. At 6, about 1 second behind Costa. Costa closing the gap on Cassidy just by 2/10 there, but when losing it again through turn 12, as we have a yellow flag in turn 1, and that's Bowboy again spinning around. So, yeah. I'm afraid for this game you will actually have to practice Bowboy. I mean, you have enough time to have like about 4-hour streams on GTA. Maybe you can invest some of that time into the league where you found it, as Beres going down the inside of Texvax on the last corner. Little bit of contact, almost lost the car there, backs out of it. It's gonna reorganize himself to launch another attempt. Bulwark got disqualified for too many penalties. What a surprise. First retirement after 5 laps. This is gonna be a great race, I can already see it coming. GTA Gamer with a penalty now in P4. It is quite easy to get penalties around here, so I'm sure that most of those guys will probably get a penalty or 2. As that's Frankie Monty spun around in turn 2, and that's Bobby trying to go around the outside of Texvax. That was a beautiful move. I'm not sure if Texvax lost a little bit under traction, or if Bobby just had massive balls and massive amounts of grip to just go around the outside of him, but now he's gonna get swallowed up by Barrett. Texvax is gonna try to find a way through. Can't make it happen though, but he on those mediums gets a better exit, uses his ERS. Bobby is almost out of ERS, squeezing him to the inside now, but Texvax got that position back, so that's some really nice battling here in the midfield. Very clean, especially given that it's F3, so really nice racing there between the mediums and the hards on the Alpine. As Cassidy is extending his gap out front, Manu is just behind VIP, those mediums still being a bit faster than the hards. In the meantime, Ruben did pit for softs, I forgot to mention that. And VIP already going defensive, going from one side of the track to the other, trying to break the toe. But Manu with all the overspeed clears him even before turn 1, now he just has to get it stopped. Manages to do that, careful on throttle, and he wasn't careful enough on throttle. First gear spins it around, and now he has to take the next few corners a bit slow. His rear tires will be overheated, so he has to cool them down. As further up at Zach, just half a second behind Costa, so Costa clearly not feeling comfortable on those mediums or just with his car in general. Then again, he did qualify in P2, I think. So maybe he just doesn't have the race pace right now, maybe he's just struggling with tire temperatures or tire degradation. And Essex is just better at getting his hards into that temperature window and keeping them there. So he's looking set to make a move fairly soon for P2, as Cassidy keeps on extending his gap, already 2 seconds ahead of the field. Texvax and Barra are still close to each other. Bobby must have had some kind of moment because he's now 2 seconds behind them. But Texvax and Barra, both guys on the mediums, both showing some really good pace right now. Probably going to continue fighting for the next few laps until the first pit stops, which should be, I'd imagine, around lap 12, 13 maybe, if we're going for the hards. Maybe we want to stretch it for the softs, but then you would have to stretch them to like lap 20, and I'm not sure if those drivers will be able to do that. But yeah, fairly calm right now. We have another spinner, that's Michael in turn 12. So he's not having a good evening. Adsex 9/10 behind, just losing a bit through the first sector. Texvax also 9/10 behind, probably just the dirty air affecting him a bit in the slow speed section right here, as Michael retires, becomes the second one to retire. Let's see. And Bobby retired as well, after spinning around again, I imagine. So it's unfortunate for him. Gonna be difficult to get any race pace data if you are just retiring after 7 laps. Let's see, checking the Discord. F4 will have no stream because Bunty has an error with his PS4, that's just lovely. Let's see. Edzex and Costa still the closest battle right now, 1 second apart from each other. I think the main challenge for a lot of those drivers this season is going to be to just keep it on track, rather than, you know, actually trying to fight too much. As I say, that Bever just close up to VIP massively, just half a second behind him. So that's going to be a good battle coming our way. Bever in a slipstream with the overspeed going to the inside and clears him before turn 1. Now can he be careful enough on throttle out of turn 2? No! And fair enough, Bever was able to be careful on throttle. This time VIP was the one that overcooked it. So Bever now up into P4, Edzac still keeping 1 second behind Costa. Costa gaining on Cassidy again, so he found some pace seemingly. They're both equal on ERS now. So Costa just needed a few laps to get his tires up to temperature, maybe just managing them for a bit to push now, whilst Cassidy has worn his tires out, or maybe he just did a mistake that we didn't see. But yeah, the battle for the top 3 getting a little bit more heated now. As Ignite has retired, and so did Mano. 8 laps in and we have 9 cars still driving. Welcome to F1 2022. God, this is just horrible. Let's see, 1.2, 1.3 seconds between the top 3. Apart from that, not too much battling going on. Oh god, and we have some mic from the in-game voice chat. Just let me... mute everyone really quickly. That might take a second, but I'm sure we ain't gonna miss anything, apart from maybe a spin or 2. Let's see, who spun? Nobody spun. Perfect. So Yuri is also asking in the comments, what's the point of leaving? And the whole point of it is to drive and analyze race data. Even if you're dead last, you should still be racing. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I get that those drivers get frustrated. Hey, I've done the same thing in Spain after getting spun around twice. And I get that, you know, maybe if you're in dead last, you ain't pushing as hard, you know, compared to when you have a car just a second ahead of you. But still, any kind of race data is good, so even if you're in last, even if you're just going after the leader that just lapped you, you know, try to keep up with him, try to take that as motivation to keep pushing, but don't just retire like that, because you can't analyze your data if you don't have anything. So, yeah, it's gonna be difficult. I doubt we'll have another preseason race though, because we've already been waiting long enough. That being said, I'm not sure if this game is in a state for league racing, as Cassidy is pitting after just 8 laps on the mediums. That's quite early. Is he gonna go on the hards, or is he gonna do a 2-stopper? Or is he gonna retire? Surely he's not gonna retire, he's leading. Let's see, what tire is that? I can't see it. I think it's the hard. It is the hard tire. Let's see, after 9 laps, so that should be 18 laps on the hard. I'd say that's possible, as long as he doesn't spin out on his outlap. Now I jinxed him. I think it should definitely be possible to do that. The hards do go quite a long way in this game. Edzax managed to close the gap on Costa a bit again. As Sadio Mano said that he had a controller issue, his left stick didn't steer in some corners. Great, you have a buggy game with glitches and connection issues, and on top of that you have a problem with the controller. That's just the icing on the cake, as Ruben spins again. Let's see, better for the lead though, or for the, you know, current lead. Cassidy should have some clean air, and then like 1 or 2 laps once those hards are up to temperature, he should be putting in some good lap times. But yeah, Edzac still keeping about 1 second behind Costa, as we have another spin, and that's Ruben again. And actually no, he retired in the pit, so now we have 8 drivers left after not even 10 laps. Yeah. Etexvo, getting closer to Costa, he's really making those hearts work, which is still surprising me quite a lot, because those hearts feel very difficult on this game. Not as bad as they did on the last game, but still difficult. As Barra and Tex are pitting Barra with a penalty there. I'm not sure if that was for speeding or not. Tex getting into his pit box right now. He doesn't have a penalty, that might be a bit close on the blend here. And where is he? He's been holding for quite a long time. I'm not sure if he just slept and forgot to put in his clutch or what he was doing, but he could have been a lot closer to Barra there at the pit exit. Costa, at the moment the only guy still on mediums, and the hards do seem to be faster than the mediums at this point after just 10 laps. I would have expected the mediums to go a bit longer than that, so that's surprising, but Isaac's really putting the pressure on him now. Both of them are about equal on energy, and let's keep an eye out for Cassidy as Barra. No, that's Monty who spun around again. Let's keep an eye out on Cassidy with the gap, so that's 21.6. I don't remember what the time loss in France is, but I think it's about like 21-22 seconds, so right now, if the leaders would pit, he could be coming out right next to them. But if they're gonna start fighting now, that's gonna cost them time, and Cassidy is gonna be able to pull off a massive undercut on them as Adzax. Is he gonna try to launch something into turn 1? No, he isn't. Thinks better of it. I think he's just staying behind right now, trying to save some of his ERS, saving some of his tires. And then once Costa is in the pits, he's gonna put the hammer down, put in some good lap times, and tries to do the overcut on Costa and Cassidy, and then obviously go onto the mediums and have a faster tire towards the end of the race. Let's see, we're gonna keep an eye on that as Tex-Rex. Oh no, man, he just looked closer to Monty than he actually was. And we have a spinner, and that's VIP spun around in turn 6 in that difficult acceleration zone. Zook now up into P3. But obviously he's still to pit with top 4 are yet to pit as Cassidy gets a penalty. I think that was coming out of the left kink of turn 7, so maybe putting maybe getting a little bit of understeer and running wide, or cutting the inside curb too much. But that's an unfortunate penalty for him. 3 seconds, that might decide the race later on, depending on how close it's going to be with Adzax and Costa, who are really close to each other now. Costa driving defensive, trying to go a little bit to the left to make Adzax go the long way around. See, now Adzax just needs to set up this exit, and he gets a beautiful exit, much better on the traction, so that just shows you how much more grip the hards have right now. And he's easily past Costa even before they get to the braking zone for turn 1, and Adzax now in the lead. If I'd be Costa, we're on lap 13 right now, so almost at the halfway point. If I'd be Costa, I'd be pitting for hards now and just try to cover off Cassidy as much as I can, but then again, looking at the gap, it's 20 seconds, so I think Cassidy does have a clear lead right now once those two pit. And just look at how much time Costa lost through turn 6. You could see the understeer through that corner, so his tires seem to be done. Just picking up some DRS here, but I'd expect him to pit at the end of this lap. Let's see, as we don't have a lot else going on, Cassidy catching up to VIP now, 1.2 seconds, so he's gonna hope to get past him fairly quickly. But yeah, Costa surely gonna go into the pits now. Although we're saying that he is keeping up with Adzax a bit, but I think that's mostly because of the slipstream down the Mistwire straight. Let's see, is he going into the pit? No, he isn't. He's going to try to stay behind Adzax, so trying to get more of a DRS. Maybe he's even trying to extend his stint all the way to the softs, but then again, if the mediums are starting to fall off after 10 laps, the softs can probably only do like 4 or 5 laps, and there's no way he can carry those tires to lap 22, I think. Then again, I don't have any idea how the tires behave around this track, so I could be completely wrong. As Cassidy is catching up to VIP now, he does have the DRS. Let's see if we can get by him quickly. He doesn't want to lose too much time behind the traffic. And then he'll have Zook just 4 seconds further up the road. Zook, I can't be saying, given that, you know, he's exhausted from that heat, he is putting in quite a good performance. Obviously, yes, he spun once or twice, I'm not sure. But still, almost everybody has at this point. And he's still running in P3 as it stands right now. Might be even net P5, 6 after he pits. But still, that's a fairly good performance from somebody that just 10 minutes before the race said that he's too exhausted to turn up. Let's see, Costa still keeping up with Adsex. He's really good through that second sector. Maybe Adsex is just carrying a little bit more downforce. Costa can just use that slipstream, because now he's losing half a second again through those corners, but he's just gaining all the time back on the straights. But let's stay on board with Cassidy right now, who's clearly much faster than VIP. 9 lap fresher tires. And I'd expect him to try and make a move into turn 1. So you can set up the last corner, just look at how close he is. He's virtually pushing him through the corner. On the DRS, not using any energy, neither is VIP. See, he looks to the inside, shows himself, but he isn't making the move yet, so still a bit hesitant, as Costa has just dropped out of the 1 second window, and Eva Zook has spun under traction on those old hards. Let's see, let's check the gap again, 18.8, so despite him losing a bit of time behind VIP, Cassidy is still gaining on the 2 leaders, as now, yeah, he's gonna get past him easily with DRS on the inside. Excuse me. Easy move for Cassidy. As... okay, that was just a weird sound. I thought VIP went straight on there. Well, got my names all mixed up. Costa back in the 1 second window now, but he's gonna lose it again for the first third sector. And is he gonna pit this time? No, he isn't. I think he might actually try to go to the softs at the end. I don't see that working, but maybe he knows something that I don't. Meanwhile, Cassidy is still gaining on him, so Cassidy looking really, really strong right now. And there aren't too many other battles going on. Frankie Monty, he got overtaken by Texax, but I think Monty had a spin, and Cassidy... why? He retired. Okay. I guess Cassidy had something important going on, because I don't see why he'd retire from, like, the net race lead. That's strange, that's very strange. I guess we have 7 guys remaining, and we're only just about halfway through the race. Well, shite. Let's see, Costa and Attax Van battling out for the actual race lead. Costa is still going on with medium, still going strong. Just keeping around 1 second behind Attax. I think he's trying to go for the softs. It's gonna be difficult. You can see the blue symbol indicating him that his pit window is definitely open. But I think he's gonna try to go for the softs. But as I said, I can't see that work out. I just can't see the softs go like 10 laps, or the mediums going more than 22 laps. Let's see, apart from those two, it's fairly spread out. Monty 2 seconds behind Texrax. VIP getting a penalty, speeding in the pit line. Don't tell me he's gonna retire as well. Please don't retire, please don't retire. He's gonna pit for mediums. Yes, he is. Let's see. So that means that Adzax is probably gonna pit for mediums soon as well. 10 laps on those mediums with a lighter fuel tank should definitely be possible. As Costa just lost another second to attack, so maybe his tires are hitting the cliff now, maybe he made a mistake, I didn't catch that. But now his tires seem to lose all the grip that they had, so surely he has to pit now for a 10 lap stint on the hard. But then he won't have any chance of catching up to Adzax, who's surely gonna pit for the mediums fairly soon as well. The mediums are gonna be the faster tire, they're gonna be easier to bring up to temperature, so he can just drive away from the Alpine driver. So let's see, is he coming in? Yes he is, and Costa follows him in. He did cross the white line there, so that would be a penalty in the actual race. But yeah, Costa is surely gonna go for the hards now. Adzax for the mediums. Oh no, Costa's gonna go for the softs. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see if the softs can go 10 laps. That's gonna be really interesting to see. I mean, he is gonna be faster than Adzax out of the pits, so that could be interesting. But I expect him to absolutely drop down at the end. Although I say that he did manage to make the mediums last for 17 laps, so who knows. Sparrow is coming into the mix now. Closer than I imagined. He might be in a position to attack Costa now because his tires are up to temperature. Costa is gonna need like half a lap. So Barber could maybe launch an attack into the chicane. And he knows that. He's absolutely pushing now. You can see how close he is, just 3/10 away. A lot more grip through turn 6. And that's gonna set him up nicely for the Mistral straight. Costa going defensive. And Barber just stays behind him for now. So this just turned into a 3-way fight, and that was after Barber spun round earlier on in the race. So really nice, well, massive undercut for Barber here on those hards, making them work quite nicely. Probably just trying to stay behind Costa, let him drag him closer to Adzax, and then them three are gonna have a 3-way fight for the top spot. I still think that Adzax has the best card, because he has the best tires for the remaining laps. Costa's tires are gonna drop off. Barber, I don't think, once the softs and mediums are up to temperature, I don't think Barber can keep up with them on this hard. But I could be completely wrong and we could have a massive 3-way fight till the end. Who knows? Let's see. Now all the tires should be up to temperature. Costa is 2 seconds behind Adzax. I think before it was at like 2.6 seconds when they came in. So he's already gaining quite a bit, and you can see here gaining a 10th and another 10th. Probably gonna gain another 10th for turn 5. Staying about the same. Adzax is really good in the turn 5-6 section, getting the car turned in and then getting on the power. But Costa is faster down the straight. You can see we're just getting 2 tenths here. 3 tenths even. Almost 4 tenths, now about 3 tenths down the straight without even using DRS or ERS. They're both on the same level. Costa even has a little bit more. See, Barber also about the same. But Costa right now obviously the faster car on those softs, but those softs will drop off before the end of the race, surely. Let's see, what do we have in the comment section? Yuri saying this is a joke. People shouldn't even be racing and it's not gonna be better tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow we only have, as it stands right now, 8 people confirmed for F1 tomorrow, 12 for F2, so we're thinking about putting those 2 tiers together for preseason. It's just not looking good right now in general for this game because of multiple reasons. You know, obviously we have the game glitches and all that, and we have a lot of people that are on holidays, so they can't turn up. That's making it more difficult for us admins and staff members to place them in the tier. Some people just aren't turning up because they think, well, the game just isn't drivable for a league, so why should I be bothered to turn up? Which is a fair point. I mean, right now it's just not ideal if you can't even turn on formation laps without having the lobby crash. It's gonna be really tricky to get this going for next week for the season opener around Australia, I think. Let's see, Costa now within 1 second of Elsak's Barber dropped out, 3.6 seconds, he can't keep up the pace. Let's see, Costa's probably gonna pass Elsax here, but as I said, Elsak's gonna repass him before the end of the race, I'd imagine, because of the softs dropping off. So Costa just inside the DRS window. Let's see, I could see his tires drop off within the next lap or two. So Costa really has to make this move stick and then show us some incredible defensive driving down the Mistral straight and the main straight. Oh, excuse me. Let's see, further down we have the 2 McLarens battling actually. Let's take a look at those. We're gonna keep the battle of the lead in our eyes on the timing stats. Also, in case anybody is wondering, I will not be hosting interviews after this race. You know, with only 7 finishers, I feel like there's no point interviewing the top guys. Let's see, VIP close to Zook. Zook doing some weaving there. VIP is gonna go to the outside. Zook is still there. Oh, and VIP opts for the runoff. Takes that runoff chicane quite... Ah, he does back one board. But that's what you're supposed to do. That's a perfect demonstration of how you're supposed to take that runoff. For those of you that aren't in the league, actually each week before each race, we, meaning I, post something called the Director's Notes, where we tell the drivers how to take those runoffs, how to behave on pit entry, you know, not cutting the line and all that. Also how to take that runoff here in turn 1 and 2, there's another one in turn 3 and 4. Sometimes the drivers actually read it, which is nice to see. Sometimes drivers just ignore it and just floor it across the runoff and then wonder why they're T-boning another car. But this was a nice demonstration of VIP being aware of the runoff, taking it as expected, apart from that one board braking, obviously. And I don't think he got any warnings or penalties for that, and she's still within a fight or within a shot of Zook, so that was really good from him. Both of them very low on ERS, and Costa, I think his tires are slowly starting to drop off now because he can't really keep up with Elsak that much. He's just keeping within that 1 second window. Let's see how the gap is gonna change through the 3rd sector, because that's where you're killing your front tires the most. Let's see if those soft tires are already worn out at the front. Oh yeah, a lot more understeer through there, lost 2 tenths, 3 tenths. Just through turn 11, I think his front tires are already screaming for help. As VIP and Evil back for round 2. VIP is completely out of ERS, Evil defending the inside, VIP trying to go around the outside. So he gets a better exit, is going to launch it up the inside of turn 12. Evil gives him the room, but some good racing there. God, was engine sounds. see, now switch back to the outside, trying to hang it around the outside. VIP seems to have more grip in those tires right now than Evil, obviously 1 lap fresher. And now it's gonna be a drag race down to turn 1. This time Zook with a better traction, but Evil now with the DRS going to the inside. And Zook still keeping his nose in there. But VIP just edging ahead of him. That was some really nice racing between the two McLarens right there. I liked seeing that. That was really enjoyable. As Kostya 6 tenths behind at Zach, 7 tenths, 8 tenths. Just struggling in the traction now as well as Zook. Sorry, Evil I mean. No. Zook and Evil are the same person. Yeah, no, it was Zook. Zook was trying to go down the inside of VIP GTA Gamer there. Now going around the outside with the help of DRS, squeezing him at the apex, almost touching. Oh, and VIP loses it. Is he gonna wait up? I think Zook thought about waiting up for him there for a second, but then decided, nah, I'm just gonna speed off into the distance. That was a nice fight between them two though, whilst it lasted. Oh god, excuse me. Let's see, so the only battle we have left is the one for the lead. Both of them very low on ERS. Bever's gonna hope that Kostya's gonna get desperate and just launch it down the inside and take both of them out so he can win. But Kostya's still holding quite strong on those softs. He isn't quite fast enough to get past LX, but he is fast enough to catch to keep up with him. And that's although his tires should be starting to degrade right about now, so he seems to be quite good on saving his tires. But then again, we've already seen that in Bahrain, if I remember correctly, where he managed to go like 20 laps on the mediums and pretty much do the same strategy that he's doing right here. Oh, I think Adzax was a bit slow for that chicane, Kostya only half a second away now, as VIP gets another penalty and he's back with Zook, so I think Zook just slowed up for him. So it's gonna be a nice battle there, but Kostya now getting a bit closer to Adzax again. Both are equal on ERS. This might be getting interesting. We're gonna ignore the penalties for now. As I said, I'm just gonna look at the penalties. 3 seconds? Nah, I don't think he's gonna pull out 3 seconds. But let's see who's gonna win it on track, because Kostya could actually have a chance of winning it here on track, as VIP and Zook are close again. VIP on the inside with so much overspeed. Still there. Zook gives him the space. But some very nice racing between them two. Very clean, very fair. Oh, Zook going a bit wide there. VIP giving him the space on the inside, going for the switchback now. Still behind him. That's probably the best racing I've seen throughout preseason so far between them two. Absolutely beautiful. VIP now with the better exit and the DRS is surely gonna get past him. But Zook just seems to be better between like 3rd and 5th gear, just getting that extra drive out of there. But now VIP on the inside of turn 1. Zook defends around the outside and they both spin around. I think that was a bit of front wing to rear end contact there. As Kostya and Edzak still just half a second apart from each other. And Frankie Monti just passed the two McLarens after their spin. But he is getting a bit closer, just 3 tenths now, so he might actually have a shot at this. He just needs to get a little bit closer, maybe another tenth or 2 for the first sector. And then he might be close enough to launch an attack into the chicane. I see Yuri said this racing reminds him of Jesse and himself in Mexico last lap. I think I commentated that if I'm not mistaken. I definitely remember watching that. As Kostya is just dropping out of a second there. So let's watch with 2 McLarens again. Yeah, F3 can give us some clean racing every now and then, but sometimes it's just a bit questionable. Let's see, we do only have 2 laps to go. Let's see, can VIP keep up with Evil Zook? They're battling for the wooden spoon right now. They might be able to catch up to Monty. It seems like they are quite a bit faster than him. Monty not feeling comfortable with the car, it seems. So maybe it's gonna be a three-way battle for the wooden spoon. They enter lap 26 now. The leaders are already halfway through the penultimate lap, but Costa is 1 second behind Edzax. I think he can't get any closer, so Edzax should have this in the bag. Then again, there's still gonna be 1 lap to go, as VIP is pushing Zook through the corners quite literally, as they're both still gaining on Monty. And Zook might actually have DRS now, because Monty was very slow for turn 6, and he does, so VIP not gonna be able to gain enough on him, I think. That being said, he uses his ERS, gets quite close. Zook has to defend, but still stays in front. Monty is just ahead of those two. Costa is 1.9 seconds back. Not sure if he made a mistake or if his tires are just dropping off. But the top 3, well, top 4 are pretty much set in stone. So it's all about those last 3 cars battling for the last place. Or well, for P5 if you want to be optimistic. What can they do? Iwizuk now within 8/10 of Monty, so he is within that DRS window. Could launch an attack on the Mercedes, who seems to struggle on his 6-level tires, so not being able to preserve his tires as much as Kostya in the Alpine. Let's see, final lap. The leaders are already halfway through the lap, coming down the Mistral straight. Those 3 are just starting the final lap now. Half a second between each of them. We're just gonna pretend that this is the final lap of the championship. And let's go on board with Frankie and see what's happening behind him. The 2 McLarens, big in his mirrors. And can Zook launch an attack on him into the chicane down the straight? He is very careful on throttle is Monty, but actually gets quite a nice exit. Zook didn't keep up with him that much. Now Zook might have to worry about VIP, because VIP carries a lot of overspeed. He's going defensive already very early on. VIP trying to send it around the outside and make a bit of contact. VIP still there, almost off the track. And an absolutely fantastic move from VIP, as we have top 3 coming across the line. Mr. Edzak, there's Costa and Barre. Very nice from them 3, but the 2 McLarens still going side by side. Frankie Monty is gonna go away from those 2, so it's all about the wooden spoon between the 2 McLarens. VIP still on the inside. A little bit of wheel banging there, putting Zook on the curb. Zook though still right next to him on the curb. More wheel banging. Zook is gonna send into the last corner. VIP hangs on around the outside. He's on the curb accelerating. Zook with the DRS and the ERS. But VIP is gonna get him, and Zook just crashes into him at the end. Still nice racing between them two. That was some beautiful driving up until those last 100 meters between those 2 McLaren drivers. Overall, I gotta say, a lot of spins. I'm not sure if we're gonna start the season next week. I hope we can. I'm not sure if we can. We're gonna still watch the podium celebrations. We're gonna watch the end results for the fastest lap and all that. And then I'm gonna end the stream after that. As you will see, Edzak with a really good performance. I'm not sure why Cassidy left the session, if he had something coming up, but I think Cassidy would have probably been the favorite to win, but Edzak, obviously good job from him holding off Costa there towards the end on those softs. Also Costa with his time management absolutely outstanding to keep his mediums and the softs alive for so long. And Barre obviously in P3 after that spin early on, starting from pole. Good recovery up to P3. Here we have the finishers, we see them, and I'm just gonna go through all the lap times for Jensen so he can eat his heart out at those times. Try to read something out of him. Oh god. Not sure if I'm gonna be able to get through all of them. Okay, almost. Okay. With that being said, I think F4 is finished as well. We didn't have a stream there. F3 is finished. Thank you all for watching, all 4 or 5 people. Oh, sorry. This was the F3 pre-season race around France. Hopefully, we will be able to come back next week for the season opener around Australia, I think. Hopefully some of those glitches will be taken care of. Hopefully we will have a better attendance next week. Please do tune in tomorrow for the F2 and F1 preseason race. Hopefully we have more people turn up there than it's looking at right now. I've been FRL Hawk. Thank you all for watching, and goodbye.